So I am Morgan Ciocca. I'm with Vocalo Radio, and I'm sitting here at Lollapalooza with Cautious Clay. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, it's nice to see you. It's been a while since you performed at Studio 10 at the Vocalo Studios.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, it's been a while since we've performed in general.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, well, I guess we did last night, but, you know, on a consistent basis, it's definitely
And
something.
How was last night? I saw it was sold out. It must have been crazy.
It was really crazy. It was a good time. Saw, you know, a lot of people who were, really into everything, and I don't know. It was definitely, I felt the love in the room for sure.
Yeah,
So,
playing to a sold out crowd must be incredible.
Definitely.
When was the last time you performed before then?
Well, we did like a super random small show that was sort of like a promo thing, but it wasn't really, I wouldn't really count that, you know. It was kind of like, oh, we're doing this thing for this Twitch, you know, like, it was cool, but it was like, it's one of these like half like in person, half like online type of shows.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay.
So it's kind of different, but
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I guess it's been some time since we've like really, and we have like a whole different kind of set up right now. We've added a new member to the band, percussionist and keys player, and I think it's like added a lot to the show. So
Yeah, that's awesome. How are you feeling about your set today?
pretty great. Yeah, just need to get a little bit of caffeine, and I'll be just right.
Yeah.
So,
What's your go-to coffee order?
just like regular coffee with oat milk, black dark roasted coffee with oat milk, or I'll usually do like a chai with a shot of espresso.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oat milk's the best.
I do love it. I feel like it's, I don't know if I like drinking it straight, but I love it as like a milk supplement. So
I think it's the
coffee.
best milk substitute in coffee for sure.
I totally feel that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I also wanted to ask you about your new album that just came out a
Yeah.
little over a month ago.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that?
Great. I mean, it's been really awesome response from my fans, and just always like new people who are hearing about it. I'm just kind of like going with it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been a lot of fun. So I'm excited to just kind of like continue to like push that, and like obviously perform that music.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of just like keeping that rolling too. Like there's other things I'm working on and excited about. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Where'd you kind of draw inspiration from on that album? I guess it's kind of a broad question to ask because there's so
Yeah.
many songs.
I mean, I think it's really just like from my life and my life experiences, and the outlook that I have about my interpersonal relationships, but then also like myself and who I am as a person. So pretty, not generic, but pretty like broad, I would say, influences. But just my daily life, frustrations about society, and just, you know, the feelings of kind of like embracing elements of, you know, toxic behavior that I've had or people that I know have had, and realizing that that's like a part of all of our experiences in some ways, and just kind of reflecting on things. I think that's my biggest part of the album, is like reflection, not necessarily judgment, just reflection.
Mm-hmm. Just analysis. It seems like a lot of self-analysis too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like it was like a personal growth experience going through creating this album?
Definitely, yeah. I think I continue to grow as an artist the more I make music, and even perform. Like, I think performing wasn't something that came super naturally to me at first, because I wasn't always like a front person. So it just took a lot of time for me to like realize like what I needed to do when I was on stage to feel like, okay, cool, you know. And I mean, a lot of it's preparation. So yeah, I'm naturally just more of a musician, and sort of like, you know, not as keen on like the performative aspects of it, but it's all coming together.
How do you prepare for performances usually?
I guess rehearsal.
Yeah.
A lot of rehearsal, and getting to know the material, and then yeah, just kind of like being in my own space. I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, makes sense. I
Yeah.
feel like there's no set way to like get ready to perform in front of a crowd of people. It's kind of
No.
a unique experience.
Definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, and you also have collaborated with a lot of people, which is awesome. It's really cool.
Yeah,
But,
thank you.
What do you
Yeah.
usually look for in a collaborator?
I usually just try to find people who I think are doing something interesting and unique. But yeah, I think that's really what I love about collaborating. And I try to just like find that in whatever whoever I'm working with. But I don't always, just kind of comes together. I don't know always how, but it just does. So
Yeah, it just works out. And
yeah, it's usually just like if I like the music and I want to collaborate, I will. But it's not. Yeah, I definitely have a better meter for like people I don't want to work with, I guess.
Yeah. What would really turn you off from working with someone?
I don't know. Sometimes like attitude. Certain people who I meet who are just kind of like, or if it's like their music isn't something that makes sense to me.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know. That's kind of usually my own way of determining that. So, I don't know. It's hard though because so much music is listenable today. I don't know.
Mhm.
It's always different for me depending on what they're like even looking to do. Because I don't think I have like a rule book, but I'm also kind of like, if it makes sense, then we'll see. I just like suss it out usually.
Yeah. I think that's a good
Yeah.
way to do things,
Yeah.
to not have like a hard and fast rule,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I also saw Taylor Swift sampled one of your songs.
Yeah.
Like, that is crazy. How did that
Yeah,
happen? Like,
yeah.
how do you feel about that?
Well, I found out recently because I had met Jack Antonoff for, I guess, the second time. We'd met one other time, but it was super brief. But we were both in a rehearsal studio a couple days ago. And I asked him, I was like, yo, man, so, like, do you know how did that all happen? Because at first, I haven't known for some time. And I guess Taylor just really loved the song and she wanted to sample it. It's that simple. So she obviously had been paying attention to what I was doing to a certain extent.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, knowing that she like listens to your music?
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of silent listeners out there. Like I know like I've heard through a lot of people that like Shawn Mendes is a fan and all these people who are just like I'm cool with, like cool, but yeah. I guess it's just flattering,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm
However
sure
you
it's
wanna say
flattering when
so,
anyone, likes your music. But yeah. Do you have any guilty pleasure artists or artists that you listen to that people might not know you listen to or not expect you to listen to?
I don't know. I mean, there's definitely music I used to listen to a lot that I don't anymore. Not, I mean, like if I heard it, I'd be like, oh yeah,
Mhm.
But I don't like actively listen to it. I guess I really really love the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like I've
Yeah?
always, I they just hit me at a certain time in my life where I just love it. And then like as a kid, I was really into Green Day and like Creed. Oh, who else? Yeah, like what's that one band? They do that Superman song. A lot of like that like kind of style of music, like the grunge kind of like early '90s, mid '90s kind of stuff. Limp Bizkit.
It's fun. It's nostalgic.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe people wouldn't expect me to listen to that. I don't know. I'm a huge jazz head, but like people always are like, oh yeah, like, but I definitely love Ornette Coleman, Rahsaan Roland Kirk, like, Eric Dolphy's one of my favorites. So.
Yeah. And I feel like in your music too, you draw influence from a lot of different musicians and genres, but you organize it and like absorb that influence into your own music to make a very unique sound that's very your own.
Oh,
How does
thank
that
you.
kind of work out in your brain, like your creative process?
It's always just like a push and pull, and kind of an analysis of what I'm trying to accomplish in the song. and so it's become a lot easier to determine that for myself, I guess, like determine what will feel right for me, you know? Like I've sort of gotten a better sense of that, and making this album was certainly helpful into, you know, finding that out for myself.
Yeah, that's cool. And this is changing pace a little bit because this is a little bit of a silly question, but I think it's fun to ask people. But if you could make a cover band, who would it be for and why?
Oh, man. I would never make a cover band.
Yeah.
So that's my first answer. That's just not something I'd like to do. But I mean, covering songs is fun. Like, remixing songs are fun. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I have an answer for that one.
That's okay.
Sorry. Sorry to be...
But what have you been working on lately that fans should know about?
Working on a couple live renditions of some songs on my album. We're going to release on YouTube pretty soon. It's going to be like a really cool, like, reinterpolation of my own songs. So, yeah. That's something cool. I'm working on a little project before my tour, too, which I'm doing. I'm touring in the winter, Carmen and Friends tour. So,
yeah, well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today.
No problem.
And I hope your set goes amazingly and that you have a great rest of your time in the city.
Thanks for having me.